Chris Martin.
Oh, you're kidding me. September.
Kyle Lafferty.
Are you joking me?
Is that right?
I know, it's not right.
Anybody else?
Leash, was it?
Like, that is one of the most stupid questions.
Darius Vassell?
Seriously, you all need to just stay quiet. This is getting really annoying doing this quiz.
What is going on here?
Welcome along to the shoutiest segment on Irish radio. It's the scintillating, it's the stupefying, it's the splendido crappy quiz. Every Friday we pit three of Team Off the Ball up against one another in a quiz of sporting factoids. At the end of the week, it is no holds barred, as ever. Allow me to welcome tonight's contestants. Our first contestant tonight is really disappointed that Meath's Super 8 challenge ended last week. He was feeling so down when he texted manager Andy McEntee to wish him well. He said, "Hey Andy, I'm so sorry to hear about your defeat. I was totes emotional when it happened. You'll totally be back next year. In fact, I think you'll definitely win Sam if you scope out some tall athletic midfielders from the Meath Hill Club in particular. I hear they're really, really good at football and they really, really like free gear. Chin up. Love from your pal, Tommy Rooney."
Hello, good to be here.
Good to have you.
I the words totes emotion in a text.
Have you not?
No.
Everything else is correct though from that, yeah?
No,
Definitely.
No comment.
Absolutely full with emojis over that text.
Yeah.
I don't
Full to
really
the brim.
Not really, like. I probably would use emojis.
Yeah.
So would you say you're emotionless or you just don't use the phrase totes emotion that much?
I just wouldn't use the phrase that often.
So what happens if you are in a situation that is very emotional? What's the phrase you use to describe it?
Probably emotional, I would
It
say.
depends on the emotional feeling.
Fair enough, I think.
Depends on the emotion at the time. Depends on the gravity of the situation.
So you're going to be...
Context of the text.
How are you going to angle your way into the Meath squad, basically, is what we're trying to get to here in the off-season?
Sure, look, we're only taking every game as it comes in Meath Hill, so...
He's already got one leg in the door if he's saying sure look it.
In the middle seat is a Limerick man who's been told all week that his county's hurlers are favourites to beat Brian Cody's Kilkenny, which has alarm bells ringing to the point where he has entered full-blown paranoia. He doesn't trust anyone who knocks at his door, hiding under his bed whenever anyone comes to visit. And he thought someone poisoned his coffee earlier on. In fact, he's got a weird feeling that someone somewhere, that there's a camera watching him right now. Give it up for Neil, that's Limerick City, Tracy.
There's several cameras watching me right now.
It's true.
I can
Surveillance, big brother.
I can absolutely testify to that.
Are you confident?
Yeah, I think I am. But it was when you said it there, actually, I did coming in on the bus this morning, I was thinking about it, I was going like, God, Limerick are actually favourites against Brian Cody's Kilkenny.
How many nightmares?
Which was an odd feeling.
Did you hurl, Neil?
I did for a few years when I was younger, but I was terrible at hurling. I really was brutal.
More into the wickets.
No, I played Gaelic football till kind of mid-teens and stuff like that, but hurling dropped away by the time I was about 10 or 11. I was just brutal at it.
What position were you Gaelic football?
Either full back or full forward. Just kind of
Interesting.
goalmouth presence either way, you know.
Important.
Good man to bust up play.
Great to hear.
Our final contestant tonight is popping his crappy quiz cherry. As a Donegal man, he popped his cricket watching cherry this week too. Quite frankly, he's appalled by the sport. He made quips about crumpets and smoked salmon for lunch in the middle of a game, completely unaware that crumpets and smoked salmon are both absolutely delicious foodstuffs. He's just a normal guy who loves normal sports. It's Enda down to earth call.
I thought there was going to be a joke about how I say Meath in there, to be honest.
About what?
How I say Meath.
You said it right there.
How do you
What's
usually
the
say
learning?
Meath?
Meath.
Anyway,
then there.
Also,
Congrats and welcome.
I actually don't mind cricket. I just don't care about it.
Oh,
It's not that...
nuance.
I don't know. That is very different to some of the stuff you've said out in the office.
Yeah. One of the best parts about this week has been the difference between Tom Malone's excitement and Enda Call's, I don't know, pure apathy. Antipathy.
I just don't really get this sport. I don't get why people find it so entertaining.
I love
it's glorified.
anytime
It's glorified rounders.
Anytime someone mentions,
Absolutely isn't.
First of all, it was, I've no thoughts on it. Glorified rounders. And also, anytime someone mentions, like, they're going away for tea or it's lunch or something like that, you just kind of hear this sigh in the corner of the office, and you catch this roll of the eyes.
In fairness, Enda Call is probably the first ever Gaelic football snob we've ever had in here.
Yeah.
How genuine and down to earth are you? Just for anybody who doesn't know you, it's your first time in the quiz. Obviously, in your intro to this, you're obviously salt of the earth.
Yeah, that's it. Just proud Donegal man.
The quiz intro doesn't
You know,
lie.
you play football on a Sunday, play soccer on a Saturday if you're keen on it, but don't
play
go past
soccer?
that. Oh yeah.
That's kind of surprising.
Donegal's a big soccer country as well.
Garrison game.
I don't know. I can't respect a sport that you can't play in the rain.
What's the name of your new podcast? What's your new podcast then?
No, I don't mean that.
What do you mean?
I just don't. I can't abide that you can't play it in rain.
What, so what,
you know what I think? Do you know what-
is
okay.
mud the
Like, they
greatest
take a
silent
tea
sport?
break. They take a tea break. That's just no. It takes 4 days to play the damn thing, and I don't understand why Ireland are playing the World
Look,
Cup.
their union,
So,
their
okay.
union says they are entitled to a tea break.
Hold on a minute. Did you or did you not glorify Shane Lowry this week? How many days did it take him to win the Open?
Well, that's different. Like,
What?
How is it different?
sure, it started pouring rain, and he could still play the round of golf, didn't he?
Oh, poor man.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. I was going to talk about your tattoo, but we might save that for another day. Great tattoo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very interesting tattoo.
Yeah.
Real salt of the earth.
Yeah, we were talking about it before.
As ever, the format is a classic crappy quiz, 4 questions each. After 4 rounds is a trivia equivalent of taking every game as it comes. That is the rapid fire round. You can podcast the crappy quiz on offtheball.com or the Go Loud app. Give us 5 out of 5, even if that doesn't represent your actual opinion. And please send any questions you have via postcard to Crappy Quiz Quizmaster, Off the Ball Towers, Marconi House, Diggs Lane, Dublin 2. Round 1 is the boring questions round, never multiple choice. And we did get post this week. Woo. Crappy Quiz Quizmaster, as you can see. So opening this, there is a little letter, first of all, here, which I'm hiding from people at home because it's branded with the institution or the place of work that this person who posted it in works in. And it says, do not mention my place of work or name on air as my placement in the place, and I will 100% be fired for time wasting and theft of office supplies. So this is a real high wire act by this particular listener. P.S. I think I went to the same school as Neil Tracy.
Ah.
Well, that gives quite a bit away.
I need to see this. I'll have a look afterwards.
I thought it might have been Nathan Murphy sending in post there. He spoke for about 20 minutes last night about how he played Football Manager for most of his time at another company in the same building.
You can get away with it here.
So it's from Adam. Do you know an Adam? An Adam in Limerick?
I'm sure there's one or two.
Why are we giving Adam away here? Like he's.
You also weren't meant to mention his name.
We're not going to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point. I don't.
Like, so now we have his county, his school, his name.
I definitely won't mention that it says the University of Limerick on this piece of parchment.
The sackable offence is probably association with the crappy quiz.
It probably is. That is a very, very fair point. Dear Mr. Sheehan, it says, spelled my name wrong, but that's okay. Firstly, these quiz questions are in a letter, not a postcard, because I'm not a sandal-wearing yank on holiday in Dingle, and I haven't seen a postcard in about 10 years.
A lot of sass from Adam.
Yeah, a lot of sass. Secondly, I'm writing these questions from my desk at my college placement job that I started last week. It turns out that being an adult is shite, and the real job is even shiter. I've only written a boring questions round and a fun-free magic numbers round because if I did any more, I'd probably have to send you my bank details for a cut of your pay. Apologies to the contestants in advance if the questions are to a poor standard. I mean, I did only waste an hour of my workday on this. Round 1.
This is going to be ugly.
Tommy. Who was the last left-handed golfer to win a major?
Bubba.
Correct.
Thanks,
Sorry.
Adam.
Good answer there, Tommy.
That was pretty easy, you know. I won't be invited on Golf Weekly anytime soon.
Neil, name the last Ulster team to reach an All-Ireland Senior Hurling final. That's an easy question. What are you doing, Adam?
Antrim?
Yes, correct, obviously.
And, like, Adam, you wasted
It's almost so easy in my head I was going, maybe it's not Antrim.
He should have read these questions beforehand. And finally, he was supposed to be here. This question has to be for Adrian because it's easy, as in so much as it's a 50-50.
I'm definitely going to get this wrong now.
I struggled to come up with a question for Adrian that would not bring on full outrage. At one point, even considering submitting who won the Open at Portrush this week. But I felt the golf question might leave a small window for rage. All jokes aside, Adrian, you are the people's champ. He's not the people's champ today. He's gone for lunch. I know, it's a late lunch. Very, very late lunch.
8 o'clock
He's not
late
here.
lunch.
Enda, for which Premier League team did Fernando Torres make the most appearances?
Oh. So he was at Chelsea from... he spent a lot of time on the bench for Chelsea though, didn't he? It has to be Liverpool.
No, it's Chelsea.
Football man, Enda call.
Gimme.
Football man, Enda
It's a
call.
load of
Gimme.
nonsense.
Right, let's move on.
Crappy quiz. She's a cruel mistress.
She is.
How many appearances does he say?
Doesn't matter.
The number of appearances is 110 for Chelsea, 102 for Liverpool. Round 2 is the awfully difficult round. After Shane Lowry's claret jug winning performance at Royal Portrush last weekend, we'll be asking you questions here about the county of Offaly and their sporting heritage. Question 2 for you, Tommy. Not sure if you know this, but Offaly won the All-Ireland in 1982, stopping Kerry's drive for 5. Who did they beat in the semi-final?
Sorry, I keep hitting the desk there. Didn't mean to do that. Who did Offaly beat?
It started an earthquake or something. What was that sound?
82 semi-final. Galway.
Correct. Good answer. Question 2 for you, Neil. In what year did Offaly last appear in an All-Ireland senior hurling final?
Senior hurling final. 1998?
No, 2000. And Enda, name the Offaly football manager before John Maughan.
Oh, Enda's off to a tough start because you're going to be sickened when you don't get this one.
Tommy, that's a hint.
Before John Mahon.
He deserves a hint. It's his first time here.
Go away. Stop that.
God.
No help when you're popping your cherry.
I should definitely know this too, and I definitely do. Is it easy?
Give me an answer.
What do you mean is it easy? Come on,
the time
Enda.
limit's
Come
on.
on,
Who was
Enda.
a football manager
We
of
all have
Offaly
lunch
before
to
Paul
go to.
Rouse?
I know it.
Come on.
I don't know.
Paul Rouse.
Oh my God, you said it.
You actually said the
You
answer.
said Paul Rouse.
Well, no.
Come on.
No.
Hang on. Hang on a second.
If you were
He
listening
said
properly.
before Paul Rice.
Yeah, but initially-
Then that completely threw me off.
Well,
the
no,
original-
listen.
No, come on.
You were
Enda.
thrown off.
That is so
Enda,
unfair.
You were actually handed the answer,
Yeah.
pal. You didn't
You
have
were
the
thrown
composure to
off.
take it.
You were
I was
thrown off
thrown off.
long before he
No.
gave you the answer.
I had a couple of names in my head, and then you said before Paul Rice.
Well, look, you never had Paul Rouse in your head because you would have got it immediately when I said it.
Exactly.
Can I just say one thing?
That is a
Can I
load of
just say one thing?
nonsense.
Can I just say?
Can I just say one thing?
Okay, you go say
In
your
the
thing first.
72nd minute last Sunday, Donegal were a point down against Kerry. Michael Murphy had a free. The ball was on the ground. It was raining. He was
What
tired.
does this have to do with him?
Murphy picked the ball up and everybody went, what's he doing taking it out of his hands? Owen Sheehan placed that ball on the 14-yard line for you and you missed it.
Desi Dolan.
Well, Leslie's about 30 yards out.
I think that
county
is
down.
bullshit.
You let your county
That
down.
is bullshit.
Your full outrage is better than Adrian Barry's though, so it's good. It's good. Round 3 is the all aboard the cricket wagon round. Following Ireland's emergence as a cricketing superpower this week, everyone's become an armchair Henry Blofeld. Who needs the clash of the ash when you've got the crack of leather on willow? So now we're going to test your knowledge of cricket terminology. JP wrote this round, so hilarity shall ensue. Question 3 for you, Tommy. Which of these terms is not associated with cricket? Is it A, block hole, B... Should have read these first. B, chunter, or C, or C, dibbly dobbly. It's not funny at all, actually.
Can you give me those three one more time,
Yeah,
please?
block hole, chunter, or dibbly dobbly.
I think it's got to be Chunter.
Correct.
Thank you.
Dibbly dobbly is medium pace, average bowling. Block hole is where a batsman rests his bat, typically the space to the right and behind his feet.
I knew that.
Question 3 for you, Neil.
I didn't.
Which of these terms is not associated with cricket? Dorothy Dix, crease tickler, or floater? What?
I'll say crease tickler.
Correct.
Ah, yes.
That was a cracker.
And question 3 for you, Enda. Which of these terms is not associated with cricket? A, Jaffa, B, googly, or C, the long spaff? The long spaff.
Say those again.
Jaffa, googly, or the long spaff?
Googly.
They all sound like good pubs. No, the long spaff. So Jaffa is an exceptional bowling delivery, and googly is a spin delivery that turns the opposite direction than one expected. So Enda, you're on 0.
Hard luck, pal. Never easy.
Counted as one. Okay.
Never easy. The first
Neil,
two
you're
times.
on 2, and Tommy, you're on 3.
0 after 3 last week. I still won.
Are you on 2?
I'm on 2.
Are you really? I thought he was only on 1.
I got Antrim.
Yeah.
I got Antrim and
Antrim, yeah,
whatever that
100%.
cricket one was.
Moving on, the Fun for You Magic number round. Contestants get 3 points for getting the number exactly right. If no one manages that, the nearest contestant who doesn't go bust gets 2 points. The second closest gets 1 point. I'm going to state that we can only accept the answer that's written on your paper. I'm also going to have to ask for your pens once the music ends. So if you don't mind, please give us the following number. The number of shots over par David Duval finished his heroic Open Championship efforts with on Friday, plus the number of goals scored in last weekend's Super 8 games, plus, rounded down to the nearest second, the number of seconds it took Adam Peaty to complete the 100-metre breaststroke at the World Championships last week, breaking his own world record, plus the number of majors won this century by Irish golfers. That's golfers from Ireland and Northern Ireland. These are sent in from our listener Adam. Your time begins where your time ends. Your 30 seconds expires when Sinatra sings Bright Shiny Beats. So, David Duval, how many shots over par did he finish? Number of goals in last week's Super 8 games. Adam Peaty, number of seconds it took him to complete the 100-metre breaststroke. And number of majors won this century by Irish golfers.
Bright shiny.
Tommy?
56 on.
56.
Oh, geez, I'm way over that. 81.
81.
I'm still adding them up. Hang on.
We're gonna have. We can't determine.
What is going on here, man?
No, it doesn't matter. Pens down. No, show us what's on your paper.
54.
What's on your paper?
54.
You just went under there.
It doesn't
For the
matter.
sake of going under.
I didn't go under.
Neil has it, does he?
It doesn't matter. Neil has it. The answer was 103.
Ah.
Okay, it was a breaststroke through me there.
So the number of shots over par, Duval was
20.
Was it? I had
27.
18. 27. I thought it was 27.
number of goals last week.
7.
10.
Oh, it's
10.
11.
What were they?
He hasn't put in the actual.
I look at it, doesn't matter. Go on, I'll take your word for it.
Rounded down to the nearest second, the number of seconds it took Adam Peaty,
I said 25, but it's obviously 40.
56.
56.
And then the number of majors won the century by Irish golfers.
6.
10.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
right.
Five players.
Oh,
Or 4 players, isn't it?
that's pretty poor. McElroy
is 4.
Harrington.
is 3, and
yeah,
then one
sorry,
each from
yeah,
McDowell,
yeah.
Clark, and
Larry.
Shane Lowry.
Right, well done, Neil.
So the nearest contestant who doesn't go bust, which was you, Neil, you get 2 points, and the second closest gets 1 point. That's you, Tommy.
Great. So you're ahead going into the final round.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So it's 4-4-0.
If I get 1 point on the board, I'll be happy.
Do we want to change the rules this week so that Enda gets to go first?
No.
I got screwed over last week. I got one question wrong and Neil Tracy comes from nowhere to win it.
We're on to the final. Our winner tonight will be decided in the round that separates the men from the boys, the Tommy Hill figures from the Tommy Roonies. It's a no theme in particular, ridiculously easy rapid fire round. The score you get in this round will be added to your score from the previous round. There will be 40 seconds for everyone to answer from the same set of questions. We're going to start with the person with the highest number of points. We have a tie between Tommy and Neil. We tossed a coin before we came on, and if it's Tommy versus Neil, the winner here is Tommy.
Is it? Damn it, I thought I was going second. Great. Okay.
So we'll start with you, Tommy, then on to Neil, then on to the person in last.
Fantastic.
That's you, Enda. If you get a question correct, I'll ask another question and keep asking you questions until you get one wrong. Once you get a question wrong, I'll move on to the next person, and your incorrect answer also means the deduction of 1 point. You ready? Your time starts with a Paul Rouse, the longer the better.
The longer the better.
Matthew Bastareaud has signed for which French side?
Stop for a second.
No, Lyon. Name the FAI president, Neil.
Donald Conway.
Correct. Colin O'Riordan plays for which AFL team?
Sydney Swans.
Correct. Ravel Morrison has signed for which club?
Sheffield United.
Correct. Name the bowler who picked up 5 wickets for Ireland on day 1 of the test against
Tim
England.
Murtagh.
Correct. When will Adair Manor host the Ryder Cup?
2026.
Who finished second behind Shane Lowry in the British Open?
Tommy Fleetwood.
When was
what
the
a
last
joke.
time Limerick played Kilkenny in the All-Ireland final?
73.
No, 2007. Who's been named as the new Ulster Rugby captain at Enda?
No idea.
You're from Donegal, go on.
Which Chinese club attempted to sign Gareth Bale this week?
Changshu, Shanghai.
Correct. That's it. Neil wins.
That's outrageous.
That was a close home.
Bastareaud question happened. You would have got it right anyway. You would have got
on
Bastareaud
the
right.
table. That Paul Rouse thing messed me up for the entire round.
Yeah, look at Enda.
didn't.
Well done on your debut, Enda.
It did.
You were messed up
It was a
before
joke.
Owen even said Paul
Because
Rouse.
then he messed me up even more.
The
Enda,
final
you didn't get the Ulster captain. You're an Ulster man.
Who's the Ulster captain? Who is
Ian Henderson.
Ah, that was me.
They got announced
That's
last
yesterday.
night. Yesterday.
So the final score is 9-2 and -1.
Look at Neil, fair play. 2, I got the Changshu right at the end. I ended up before.
Shake hands.
Has anybody ever finished on minus points before?
Yeah, that
Ah, well, that's good.
You're very well done.
I'm glad I kept the standards of Adrian Barry up in this quiz.
Friday Night Racing is coming up next. That's it for the crappy quiz this week. We'll join you next week. Join us here on youtube.com/offtheball.